Left. It's fine. Alrighty, intro has been run. Mostly everybody is here. Enough people here to start anyway. Hello, welcome to episode 13 of Cringe Crew Music Podcast. Very, very special episode this time around. We have our first band interview with Black Squirrel Run, band out of PA, which includes a friend of the podcast, Stallman, or Traductus, or the Dude, however you know him. We're going to do the interview first, I think, just to get that out of the way, because we don't know how long that's going to run. This is going to try to be more of like a conversation, I guess. But I do have some stuff here to kind of guide it as guidelines, so to speak. So we'll try to work off of that. But whatever we end up talking about, so be it. So if you guys want to introduce yourself, what you do in the band, go right ahead.
I'm John Stallman, and I do vocals.
I'm Zook, and I write songs and play guitar.
Very, very cool. So I've listened to you guys' demo tape, and something that I really like about it is that it's like super like atmospheric and ambient, and I like stuff like that sometimes, and I can appreciate that. It's definitely interesting, so to speak, I guess, as far as like there's not a lot of emo stuff that I've listened to. I've listened to the first track off the first American Football album, and that's basically it. So I'm not super familiar with the genre, I guess. So if you just kind of want to talk about the music that you play and how you think you stand out within that genre.
You want to go, Zook?
We take our inspirations. A lot of it is from like the Midwest, but also from the early '90s scene, and we kind of try and smush them together just to try to stand out. So that's why a lot of our songs are very atmospheric, and other songs are like right in your face and loud.
It also helps that a lot of us also, I mean, the majority of us do listen to like the emo stuff from like the 80s and 90s, like stuff like Moss Icon, Captain Jazz, Merchant Ships, which is I think 2000s. But but we also listen to like a lot of other genres. I know John is a huge shoegaze type of person. Our drummer Alex is really into grunge, so he has like a really hard-hitting drum style, and he's not on the demo. That's our original drummer. So when we are recording, the drums are going to be a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
And yeah, and our bass player, he's into like kind of like me, into like more hardcore stuff. But what kind of really reunited us a little bit together, which also maybe adds the atmospheric to it, is that a lot of us are actually, I know Zook and I are, I know Alex is as well, I think John is, haven't really asked Nate about it. I know Nate's not really into like older rock, but a lot of us are like really big Pink Floyd fans, and also like 70s progressive rock. Like I'm super into Peter Gabriel era Genesis, which, you know, kind of adds to the I guess the atmospheric sound, because a lot of those bands had kind of an atmosphere with like the guitar work and even in some cases the vocals.
Yeah, that kind of segues into another thing I was going to ask. Like, what are some artists that you, I guess, look up to that influence some of the things you do with your music?
Vocal wise, I'd say probably the singer of Page 99 and Moss Icon for like my high pitch vocals. I try to get it to basically sound like that, and it took me years to really do a high pitched scream. Before I could really only do like the deep guttural growls like in a death metal band.
Yeah.
A good oddly enough, this comes to like a different genre. But Maniac of Mayhem in the Death Crush EP, he has like this high bone chilling scream, and I kind of figured out how to do that while being in a power violence band, and I kind of crossed that over with like with the emo screamo stuff that we do, and it fits. So there's that. Clean vocals, I'd say Ian Curtis from Joy Division and Ian Gillan of Deep Purple.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess a lot of the music that I listen to is, if you've watched the podcast, you kind of have
Right.
an idea, but I listen to like a good mix of stuff, like electronic and all kinds of metal and hip hop and stuff. But I guess the stuff that I tend to gravitate towards the most is like progressive metal, and I guess you'd call it IDM as the genre. So think like Flying Lotus or Aphex Twin or that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the stuff that I'm familiar with. There's some black metal here and there, and some classic rock and new wave and everything in between. So I guess like what are some genres that you guys kind of listen to and tend to gravitate towards?
Zook, you want to
Folk.
answer? Folk.
I listen to so much folk music
Ah,
in any era. From Peter Siegel to the Dead South, I love folk.
okay. I guess like the closest thing to that I listen to, I don't know what it is. It just kind of adds to the whole aesthetic, I guess. But every year around winter, there's this one, I guess you'd call them folk metal band that I listen to a lot. Agalok. I think they disbanded a few years ago, but their album The Mantle, there's just something about it being snowy outside and listening to that is just perfect, I think.
Isn't that what we listened to a couple of months back?
It was like season 1 or 2, I think. I don't remember,
Is
but
it
we've
really
we've definitely talked about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I guess you could call Burzum's Philosophim kind of close to that almost. And then I guess Steven's pick kind of for this episode kind of gravitates towards like normal folk music. It's not like mixed with something else. So
Gaelic folk.
It's Irish folk music.
Yeah.
it's- I like it a lot. It's what I grew up with because my whole family's Irish. But
yeah, we'll talk more in detail about that later. I have some things to say about it.
oh, don't worry, I got plenty to say about yours, Mike.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I fucking hate you.
As for
I
me,
know.
I listen. As for me, I basically listen to like a lot of post punk. Also got into like 2000s dance punk, which are bands like Chick 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 and Moving Units. Let's see what else. I also listen to like a lot of like like 80s hardcore punk, like Bad Brains. Bad Brains has always been one of my favorite bands. Also listen to like on occasion basically listen to the entire Faith No More discography. I really like Faith No More, both of their vocalists, Chuck Mosley and Mike Patton, which Mike Patton is probably the greatest singer of all of rock music next to maybe HR Bad Brains.
Yeah, I'm not like super familiar with Faith No More. There's like one song by them that is in the the Tony Hawk's Underground 2 soundtrack. I can't remember what it is. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Probably Epic. That's the big one. I know GTA San Andreas has Midlife Crisis.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Okay, yeah, that one's really good. Live, how Mike Patton, how he does the vocals live is ridiculous. But also like other things that Mike Patton has been in, like Mr. Bungle. He also sang for Dillinger Escape Plan for like a one-off EP. That was amazing.
Yeah, those are like
But-
all bands that I've heard of, but I've never like actually sat down to listen to anything by them. Like my backlog for music would take too many lifetimes to try to go
Right.
through.
Yeah, the amount of music Mike and I listen to is ridiculous. Mike's even worse than I am. Like, I've seen his foobar list, and I asked him like how many of these he's actually listened to, and I can't remember the exact answer, but it was less than half.
I just download entire discographies at a time, and I don't even get around to touching them. Just looking right now, I have almost 400 gigs of music.
Jesus.
Didn't you at one point have like 2 terabytes, or was that Jaren?
Oh, that was Jaren.
Yeah, Jaren's nuts too.
I know that speak of like listening like an entire discography, usually like a lot of cases like going down to like band practice or even going to shows like Zook will put on like Tom Petty radio on Sirius XM, and then we will just listen to Tom Petty the entire time.
Tom Petty's good. I listened to him a lot growing up because he's one of my mom's favorite artists. Tom Petty and the Breakers, the Beatles, Foreigner.
Yeah, they got some good stuff.
I was actually supposed to see Foreigner in concert.
They're
But-
really good.
They canceled. Then they got replaced by Billy Idol, and he canceled. And then so so bear in mind, I thought I was seeing Foreigner. I didn't know anything about these cancellations. Ended up seeing Peter Frampton instead, which was amazing. Like that,
That's
like how Peter Frampton does like the illusion that he's making the guitar talk. If you're actually far back, it actually looks like he's really making that guitar talk.
Does he not use a talk box or whatever?
He uses a talk box.
Okay, I
But I'm
thought
saying
I thought he did.
I'm saying if you're far away, you can't see the talk box.
Yeah.
But you could. But with vocal pedals, how they work nowadays, you can actually not even have to have a talk box. Like you just just plug your XLR cable into like just like a vocal pedal, and then it'll make the same sound.
Yeah, and there's probably VSTs for it too now.
Yeah. But you have like that, there's compressor pedals. There's even like pitch corrector pedals, which I don't use, of course, but because that's just not my thing. But I do think about buying one just because you can actually change the pitch and stuff, and I figured that would be fun to do on streams since I do live stream on occasion, just to have like, you know, how Lurks has like the board where he makes like his voice like really low and stuff. This will be like a cheaper option, just like turn it down. Or if like during like a stream I just feel like sounding like T-Pain while playing like I don't know, New World or something. Just crank up the share effect.
I have like a Behringer USB mixer, and it's like this small thing. It's nothing too complicated, but I used to be able to do this thing with it where I would have my headphones like half plugged into it, and then I don't know what I did, but I could generate like tones with it, and I got some interesting results out of that. And since then, I can't for the life of me replicate that at all. I don't remember what I did. That was so long ago. But it was some shit.
Yeah.
Anywho, I guess moving right along. I looked up. I saw that you guys have been doing shows recently, and I checked to see if there were a couple on YouTube, and there are. There's one that I mentioned earlier before we started, where you guys played in complete darkness, and I think that you were gonna talk about that a little bit.
Zeke, that's all on you.
So for that show, they had lights behind us. So I thought, oh, you know, maybe they'll turn those lights on. When they asked us, do you want the lights on or off? And we're like, oh, we'll play them off. And it was just darkness. Nothing but darkness. And we're just like, oh, okay.
I mean, okay.
And that was when I was doing vocals and bass. So, granted, I do know my way around the fretboard, but sometimes, like, especially since it was like a newer bass that I bought, I was still getting used to it. And Just trying to look down at where your fingers are in a complete dark.
That's fair.
Yeah, especially on new gear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess how have the recent shows been going?
In my opinion, good. I mean, Zook.
I think we're better than ever.
Yeah.
The only other person to be able to comment that's Calmly's been through it all.
Yeah,
Right.
I was gonna say you've been to a few, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a couple. Yeah, the one that I went to was really good. Me and Donovan were fucking laughing at the audio guy.
Oh my god.
Full
That
hour to get Stallman's fucking mic to output to both fucking speakers. It took like an hour.
Jeez.
An hour past the time they were supposed to start.
We made it we were thinking that we were going to be a little late and shit like that, but we made it to the venue before the promoter.
Oh.
Which the promoter's band which is a band called Primate, which is Prime, and the number 8. They were actually really good. They were kind of like a progressive black metal band that had like a violin player.
Interesting.
It was really interesting. And apparently they've been around since like the 2000s or something, but like that one PA speaker wouldn't go on, so like I'm there just yelling check like for like an hour.
Yeah,
and my voice
like,
is
you can stop now.
I literally thought my voice was going to freaking blow out before we even started.
Yeah.
Like it got to the point where I was almost like, you know what, take a drink every time I say check.
Oh god.
Oh
One of
god.
One of my favorite pastimes with Stallman's band is whenever someone who hasn't seen his band and they hear him scream for the first time, I fucking love their reaction. Because Donovan has never heard Stallman use the singing scream ever, period. He loved it, but he was just like confused. He was like, Stallman can make that sound?
Just visual confusion.
It literally visual. The look on their face is just,
Well,
fucking what?
for fuck's sakes, I lived with Donovan. He knows I'm loud.
We know you're loud. We didn't know that you could fucking scream. Yeah. Also, whenever all of you said, this is our new song, so don't be mad at us if we fuck it up. Me and Donovan were like, I mean, even if you fuck it up, we wouldn't know, but we loved it. It was really fucking, Donovan loved the last 2 songs the most.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about if you guys were working on anything, because if you look at the Bandcamp, you have the demo, and then there's the compilation album that you have one track on. Is there anything coming up?
Well, we are thinking about recording. It's just trying to like gather gear, sit down, and picking what songs. We also are featured on another compilation, which is by Missed Out Records. It's their fall sampler for 2020.
Okay.
Our song Wilcoxon's on that, and that features our current drummer Alex. Doesn't feature our current bass player Nate. But I don't know, Zook. When do you think that we'll probably have something like start on recording? Like next month, February?
We'll probably start recording sometime in 2022. Right now, we're actually like working on tracks. The newest one we have, which is called "Don't Cry Over Spilt Miller," that we played at the one show. That took us about three weeks to completely write.
Yeah, and it's also a song that we've been trying to do for a while. It's just the timing on that. It's kind of a complex song a little bit. The timing's kind of awkward, and we just finally had people that were talented enough to play it.
Yeah. All right. Very, very cool. Well, that's all I have. Stephen, Conley, you guys have anything?
Oh, this is. I don't remember. I feel like Stallman has told me this before. Are all of your band members based like out of Oil City or like around that area?
No,
No.
Rich, Zook and I are from Oil City.
Okay.
Although Zook lives in Beaver Falls now. John Krebel, the other guitar player, he's from Elwood City, but lives in Beaver Falls now. And Alex, the drummer's from McKees Rocks, and Nate, the bass player's from Pittsburgh. So we're from basically
Wait.
all over Western Pennsylvania, and with me living so far away, I'm kind of saving up money so that way I'm closer to the other guys. So that way, there isn't that hell of a drive, especially since Zook's been the one picking me up.
Yeah.
So driving from
400 miles.
Ah, there it goes. I was gonna say your camera froze, but it has unfroze, so we're good. All right.
Yeah, because I remember you saying that that your drive was like what, an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Is that what you said?
yeah, especially to like the practice spot because we practice on a loading dock at a Robinson Township.
Oh, that's your practice spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
We actually had a show there.
Yeah, you said that was it last weekend?
Yeah. We actually had a good turnout. The bands there were pretty damn good. The opening band's a band that our bass players in, and I think Zook, you're doing drums for them now too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing drums for him.
All right, Ask, they're really good. Then we also played with a band called Mr. Princess. They killed it. Let's see. There was another band from like Chicago.
Wow.
Yo-Yo's from Chicago, right?
Yeah, they're from Chicago.
Yeah, they were really good. Alad, our drummer, is the drummer of this band called Anxiety at Best, and we basically share the practice spot with them.
Okay. I was gonna say, Stallman, you have quite a drive for practice.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, as soon as the car gets fixed, Zook will be happy.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you guys wanted to, or if you had said it earlier. Did you have like a genre that you would label your band?
Hmm.
Because I think the Bandcamp just says like what, ambient screamo / scrams.
yeah, what Scrams is a joke term to differentiate the 90s 2000s screamo scene that is a derivative of like the 80s DC emotive hardcore scene, which is what emo actually stands for, is emotive hardcore,
Yeah.
because it was melodic hardcore punk with like poetic lyrics. So bands like Rites of Spring, Embrace, The Hated, Moss Icon. And then in Screamo, which started basically in San Diego, you had Swing Kids, you had Angel Hair, Antioch Arrow. And then that ended up spreading across, like, you have like the Midwest bands like Cat and Jazz, Jawbreaker, and Seisha, Page 99, which Page 99 is from DC, aren't they, Zook?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but basically, Scrans is basically saying like, hey, we sound like, Page 99, we sound like City of Caterpillar, we sound like La Dispute, Saddest Landscape, as opposed to like because in the 2000s, like late 2000s, bands that had a completely different sound started getting labeled as emo and screamo, despite being just either pop punk with like a goth look and metalcore,
Yeah.
with the scene look. Basically, we sound like La Dispute, not Alisana.
Yeah, I remember back in like the early 2000s, like any band that had any screaming vocals would just get labeled as screamo, and I was that guy that was just like, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I had an argument with someone at like a party at let's see, it was in college. Actually no, it wasn't at a party. It was while I was at it was it was actually a kind of a house show. There was this band called Skyline, which is now broken up. Members have went to Frame and Mantle and Flower Crown. But they were filming a music video in the singer's garage, and like after that, I got in an argument with the lady because she was just like talking about like how screamo is not really a genre. I'm like, no, it is. It's just the term gets thrown around.
It's just not what you think it is.
Yeah. Anywho, Steven, did you have anything or?
Yeah, do y'all have a specific brand of instrument you prefer to play with?
Yeah,
Or
like what kind of equipment are you guys using?
Um,
Well, Stallman uses a Shure mic. It's his favorite. We have a little bag for it.
yeah, I got that. Also an on stage midget mic stand.
Nice.
Oh, my
Also,
color keying is making that bright ass blue. Very cool.
God. What was I gonna? But yeah, it's just Shure microphones are just very reliable, and that's what typically on stage people use like Shure microphones.
Mm.
That and we used to be in a practice space at Beaver Falls, but we had a falling out with the person that we were renting it with, and he like really hated Shure microphones. It was like, you know, because he was a Sennheiser guy.
Yeah.
So for me, just being a little bit petty, I'm like, oh yeah, well then I'll actually just like Shure then.
Yeah, and we bring
But-
that mic with us to every show now.
Well, I mean, it also helps with like the pandemic, and because I don't know what other people. Yeah, I bring my own mic.
Yeah.
I don't have to really worry about things a lot.
We're that band. We have our own microphone.
When I that and also if I break it, I don't have to pay for it. It's my own microphone.
This is true.
But when I played bass, I had a crate. I had a crate amp, and I had a Dean bass, like because like I always liked Dean. And then I moved from that to having a Hondo Alien. Actually, I have it right here. Hondo. Fuck. It's a knockoff of a Kramer Duke, and it's got like a custom
Oh, that is
paint
weird.
job.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's a aluminum neck. The Hondo Alien and the Kramer Duke for like or Kramer's also in general, and any knockoff of a Kramer is gonna have like wooden inserts for the aluminum neck, and the sustain on it's amazing.
Oh,
But they do that so that way that way your hand's not super cold. While like Travis Beans or in like the Recreation brand electric guitar company, those that have like a solid aluminum neck, and what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and even in some cases, the neck is actually has like the pickup inside the neck itself going through the body.
very cool.
So yeah, a band. I started. I wanted. Well, I thought that was a really cool, interesting bass just by the look of it. But I really started wanting to have like an aluminum neck after listening to this band called Shellac. They have like this album called like I think it's like 600 Hertz or something. I can't remember what it's actually called, but it's like it got a number and it's like Hertz. But all they use is like Travis Bean like aluminum neck guitars, and one of the members of that band is Steve Albini, who's noted for being a music producer and produced Nirvana's In Utero.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The shape kind of reminds me. I've only ever seen something like that once. I think it was a
oh yeah,
bass.
it's like a Steinberger guitar.
Yeah,
which are headless as well.
yeah, I think Paul Masvidal from Cynic uses that brand if I remember correctly. But when I saw King Crimson, their bass player, I think it's more of like a Chapman stick, but it's like a similar shape, I guess.
But as for everybody else, I think Zook would agree. Everybody just basically uses Fenders.
Yep.
That is fair.
Nate uses a Fender P bass. You can't go wrong with a Fender P bass.
Yeah.
Like
You can never go wrong with P-Bass.
there's a reason why a Fender P basses are on basically every single record out there. Why it's a popular, it's been a popular bass guitar since the 50s.
Yeah.
Like they sound really great. They have a nice punchy sound. John, is he using the Jazzmaster now?
No, he's been using a Squire M80, which are kind of harder to find.
Oh right, yeah, okay, yeah. And then
It's
he
one of
has, he has a Fender amp with like various pedals.
Luke asks, did the Beatles use one?
No.
No, if I remember right, Paul McCartney had a Hofner violin bass.
Was that a Hofner? I thought that was a Gibson.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a Hofner.
That sounds right.
Although Gibson might make Hofner, I don't know. Gibson owns a lot of companies. But I will say this: our band's kind of anti-Gibson, just because their guitars are just stupidly expensive, and the build quality's doesn't support the price that they put on it.
Didn't they declare bankruptcy like a year or so ago?
Yeah. And then they restructured, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, here's like, we're gonna cater to people. This is the new Gibson. We're gonna make kick-ass guitars." And then they sued Dean for copyright infringement on designs that they've been using since the 70s. And it's like, granted, yes, like the Dean V, which looks different, and the Dean Cadillac. I mean, that looks like a Les Paul a little bit, kind of, sort of. Like, they copy, like, different designs from Gibson, but at the same time, like, if Gibson was going to go after copyright infringement, they should have done it, like, right at the 70s, not, like, now.
Yeah.
And it's not like Dean's not, like, this small company, like, they're huge.
Damned overpriced pieces of mahogany, says Luke.
Yeah, another brand, Rickenbackers. I was gonna get myself a Rickenbacker because I like how they look and sound, but after watching like a couple like YouTube videos of like doing maintenance on them, like they're not really worth the price either, just because there's just so much stuff that's kind of a pain in the ass with them. But when it comes to like Fender, American made Fender is gonna be like $1,000. Is that right? $1,000, $2,000?
Yeah, $1 to $2,000 for American made Fender.
While a Gibson's gonna run you $3 to $4,
Oof.
and the headstock might snap.
Double oof. I'm not really well versed in musical instruments, so I can't really.
Yeah, luckily, like the
comment.
foreign-made Gibsons are under the name Epiphone, because Gibson bought Epiphone like back in like the 40s or 50s. But if you're gonna go like a route of like a Gibson built like guitar, you might as well just get the Epiphone version. That'll run you like $500, and then just slap a Gibson sticker on it.
I guess that's fair.
Like our guitar player John, like literally has like the Squire instruments, which the Squire, because Fender bought Squire strings, and so they're like non-American, I'd say non-North American, because Fenders are also like legit Fenders are made in Mexico, not under the Squire brand, but the ones that they have in the Squire brand, which are made in like China, Singapore, whatever,
Korea.
Korea. if they're made in Korea, that means Samick makes them, and Samic's actually pretty good guitar manufacturer. But John just bought like the Squire, slapped the Fender sticker on the Squire. It also helps that John being also a graphic designer and working for like a sign and screen printing company can actually make the stickers, which really helps with merch because like have him make like our stickers and we can give out or sell stickers and also like make our own t-shirts because a lot of the stuff that we do, especially merch wise, we do DIY just because it's cheaper and less
Yeah.
of a pain in the ass to do.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Would you like to go over the pedals that you have, Zook?
I remember seeing everyone had a suitcase of pedals.
It's just easier to have the suitcase full of pedals because you can just close it up, handle right there.
Yep.
Makes sense.
I'd say one thing that definitely stands out in Zook's pedal board is the data corrupter by Earthquaker Devices. If you want to explain what that does.
It quite literally just corrupts the guitar signal through it, so it'll kind of sound. I don't know how to explain the sound of it. It'll just sound like all electronic, broken up, reversed. And at other times it'll go off and then immediately cut it and then bring it back out.
There's also other times where it sounds like a Nintendo Entertainment System.
It does.
Neato. Might have to look into that.
Yeah, like if you go down through like the guitar pedal like rabbit hole, there's like a lot of crazy, especially from Earthquaker Devices. There's stuff that there's like ones where it'll sound like it's like underwater for like the
Okay.
reverb.
Yeah.
I use an Astral reverb too from Earthquaker, and that makes it sound very, I think, both angelic and spacey at the same time.
Interesting.
And then there's also, I also run the Avalanche Run from Earthquaker Devices, and that's like both a delay and reverb, so it'll mix very well.
Hmm.
And there's even a setting on it where you can just hit it once, and it'll just repeat infinitely.
Ooh.
Oh, that reminds me, I have a so if I'm trying to build like a vocal pedal board. Right now I only have like a compressor pedal, which is the TC Helicon T1. Just because it's a lot easier with me because I do sing a little bit and also scream at the same time. So it's a lot easier on the sound guy to have a compressor pedal, so that way the volume doesn't like so you can still hear me with my clean vocals, but when I scream, you're not clipping the board and ruining the mixing board or the blowing out the speakers. It also helps if like when I scream, I try to move the mic away a little bit, but if I'm like kind of like lost within the music, sometimes I don't really pay attention to that. That makes sense. I like to get like an echo pedal and a reverb, just to kind of add to that. There's also TC Helicon has another one called an X1, which makes your voice sound like you're like talking on like an old telephone. Just kind of neat,
Yeah.
just kind of like neat stuff. Just yeah, it's like we might not even like use it, but just to kind of have it.
Yeah, I get
And to cover Phil Collins in the air tonight.
it.
Yeah. There's a few bands I've seen where for some songs their vocalist will use, I guess it's like a CB radio or something. I think Tool's done it. I know Damon Albarn does it for some Gorillaz stuff.
Yeah, Mike Patton's used it a couple of times for like Tomahawk, except I'm pretty sure it's like one of those like Air Force masks that they put on their face while they're like flying in the airplane and talking to each other like on different jets. It's like one
Yeah.
of those radios.
I was gonna say the only pedal I'm really familiar with, and I don't really know a lot about it. I just heard of it and I know what it does. Devin Townsend released a pedal, I guess, a few years ago at this point. It's the Ocean Machine, which is named after one of his, I guess, more popular albums. It's like a reverb and a delay, and it has like a looper built into it. I've been meaning to look up how that sounds, but I guess being as familiar with his music as I am, I could probably imagine. But
Well, yeah, there's a lot of interesting guitar pedals. There's this one that Matoverse makes that's called the Air Trash, which the guy was like breadboarding a pedal, then it ended up sounding like the worst sounds known to man. and it and so they released it as is. And it actually sounds pretty damn good. Good for what I mean, like it's a shrill sound, but like it kind of sounds good.
I mean, you could probably meme with it, or I
Oh
don't know,
yeah.
do
I
something.
mean, then there's also the guitar pedal that has Hatsune Miku on it.
Oh,
Yeah, the Hatsune Miku pedal,
what?
Yeah,
where you can make her sing.
How do you turn a Vocaloid into a guitar pedal? Excuse me.
they did it. They did it. I mean, like unfortunately, like the detection on the pedal.
Oh my god,
Is
it's
it-
a Korg pedal.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not
There's a Nyan setting. Excuse me.
yeah. There's
Okay.
that. Gosh. Then there's also this pedal that's called a Candela Vibraphrase, which is a pedal that mimics a rotary speaker, and it runs off of a candle. Like you actually have like a tea candle, and it I guess it like charges up like a solar panel and then runs the pedal, and it's like a $7,000 guitar pedal, but hey, it runs off of candle power.
$7,000 just to power it with a candle. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Sega should use the Miku pedal for making music in Persona Online. No, I'm dumb. PSO2, that's Fantasy
Yeah.
Star. I'm a forehead. You know what I'm talking about. Very cool.
Yeah,
Good
The
idea.
only issue with the Miku pedal is it doesn't detect notes that very well. The tracking on it isn't quite there. There's like a delay. So you have to really work with the delay. But it's a fun thing. It's nothing that's practical, but
Yeah, look, that's what I meant. A video game. Well,
but I mean, I guess see. I mean, see here. Oh yeah, Nate also uses my bass synth pedal, which basically turns the bass into like a synthesizer, which is really interesting.
And you're decent.
Yeah. Also, the Lux pedal, which is a detune pedal, which sounds like a chorus pedal, but without the C6 sound. I think he also uses my Nether, which is an octaver, which is it takes the sound and adds like an octave on top of it or below it. So it sounds like well, with a bass it would sound like an 8 string, but if it was on a guitar it would make it sound like a 12 string.
very cool.
But that's all I can really think of. What's Alex's set? Is it a Ludwig or is it a Pearl?
No, he uses a Yamaha.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yamaha.
Because
I know that-
Yamaha makes everything.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Yamaha literally fucking makes everything.
Yeah, I noticed.
There was a meme going around, I think, talking about them where it's like, we make pianos, but also we make motorcycles.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, they make motorcycles, they make dirt bikes, they make four-wheelers, they make snowmobiles,
Guitars,
guitars,
Electric drums.
drum sets.
drum sets, synthesizers. One of the best synthesizers ever is a Yamaha DX7,
Yeah.
which is an FM synthesizer from the 80s, and that's basically where you get your like Sega Genesis sound. But
They make dirt bikes powered by a Casio keyboard.
But yeah, Yamaha has to be the most interesting company ever, just because of like the different stuff that they make.
I guess you have to be.
Well, and what's even better is that it's good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, although like our PA, we use like a Rockman speakers and stuff, but like if we had like, if I could afford, I mean, if I was able to afford it at the time, like I would have bought like a set of Yamahas, just because like for like PA speakers, Yamaha like makes like really quality shit, and it's just kind of weird how they kind of make everything, and it's actually like, you know, at least half decent, if not like amazing.
Yeah, my dad still uses his 1980s Yamaha board, and it still runs perfectly.
He's good.
Good, yeah.
Alrighty.
Any other questions for us?
I think that's everything I had. Did you guys have anything else before we kind of wrap up here?
No, that's all I had.
No, that's pretty much all I had.
All right. Did you guys have anything that you want to maybe shout out or?
Well, in March, we're gonna be playing Possum Fest at Pittsburgh. Is
Yep.
it in Pittsburgh? Yeah.
Yeah, we're
So
going to be
there's-
playing Possum Fest down in Pittsburgh on March 11th.
And so far, that's what we have coming up. We're trying to like book more shows. It just depends on like what we can do. Also depends on how the pandemic goes.
Yeah.
We're also
'Cause-
starting a GoFundMe to get Stallman a vehicle.
Yeah.
But see, there's that. Do we have anything else coming up?
Not that I know of. We're talking about having a tour.
Well, I
In
know
March.
that. I know that.
That's still up in the air right now.
Yeah, because we gotta figure everything out, like
Yeah.
where we're all going, and
How long
whatnot.
with vehicles?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, I do have one thing to say. Conley, depending on what you pick, you might regret it.
It's okay. I've accepted my fate at this point.
Okay.
oh yeah. Next episode is likely going to be a disaster, based on what we pick, and if it's going the way I think it's going, I get to bore you to death, I guess.
What are you picking? Kenny G or Yanni?
Steve Rodin's Forms of Paper,
God
potentially.
damn it!
Oh, that's great. That's a great album. It's a
Oh my
great
God.
album.
I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I'm probably gonna bore myself to death too.
Jesus Christ! How long?
Oh,
Good
shit.
old music concrete.
It's just an hour of
Oh,
paper noises.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Just paper noises. Yeah. Huh?
Gotta love experimental art music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't worry. I have some nightmare fuel for you.
Oh, I'm sure you do. You'll pull something out that will both absolutely just.
Knowing Steve, it's like, this is what I used to listen to in high school. Wasn't I a great person to hang out with in high school, judging by my music taste back then?
Or just something that he's been like hanging on to that he's just like, this is dumb.
Oh, don't worry. So I have an entire Reddit with
Oh.
multiple subreddits
Oh no.
Oh, no.
for terrible, horrible, extremely out there and strange music, specifically that I have been reading because of you, Mike.
All right.
It's not even intentional for
Okay,
me. It's just I think it's neat and you don't.
Shh. It's okay. I'm gonna make your eardrums bleed.
Steve.
Be fine.
All right, Steven. It wouldn't happen to be a family band of 3 sisters, would it?
Oh.
No, it would not.
Okay. Never mind.
Y'all know about my pal Foot?
Shut up. Shut up. Conley doesn't know.
So let's read some of the options from here that I have been perusing. So we have Heavy Vegetable, The Amazing Undersea Adventures of Aqua Kitty and Friends.
Oh no.
We have Mr. Bungle, My Ass is on Fire.
Oh, that's a great
Oh, Mr.
song. That
Bungle's
is a
good.
great song.
Yes, these are a few of the things that I have been considering.
No, Mr. Bungle is like actually good from what I heard.
Yeah, no, they're real. That's Mike Patton's first band before he joined Faith No More. Like, they're really good.
We also have Melt Banana.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that band.
Oh no, I don't. I only know one of 3 of these so far, and I'm moderately terrified.
Mike, you would love Melt Banana. Like Melt Banana is like a weeb Japanese noise rock band. They're really good.
Is it okay? So Japanese noise rock. The only thing that comes to mind is Boris. Is it similar?
Faster, and it has like a girl vocalist that sounds like a Pokemon.
Okay, so far this sounds not awful.
Oh no, it's good. It's good. It's gonna be awful for Steven because it fucks with a sensory overload. So
Joke's on you. The things I hate, I actually like somehow. Try harder.
Oh. Right, so what you're telling me is I need to go deeper down the hole.
Look, just pick. You can't even pick outsider music either because Wesley Willis fucking slaps. So what are you gonna pick?
oh my
honestly?
god,
Hey,
Wesley Willis does slap. But, oh no, there's worse outsider stuff.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
My pal Foot is also on this list.
That I like that ironically. So joke's on you again.
Depending on what Conley picks, I might actually pick that.
Hey,
I actually might pick the fucking Shags.
Stallman, I want to know. You told me this a long time ago, and I don't know if it's still true. What is your least favorite genre? I want to see if I'm right. What is the genre you hate the most?
It's either deathcore or disc, or when white people do disco.
Okay. Just throwing out some feelers here. When you say deathcore, how do you feel about cattle decapitation?
I don't. If I remember right, cattle decapitation's grindcore.
It's close enough.
Yeah,
I'm talking about bands like Waken the Cadaver, Whitechapel.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Oh,
Emir.
Understandable.
I also have one that you probably will be very confused by and absolutely hate.
If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Conley's pick. I mean, since I know it's not ABBA, because I asked Conley if it was ABBA and it wasn't ABBA, so therefore I have a feeling it's going to be either Whitechapel or Bring Me the Horizon or Asking Alexandria, or even worse, Sleeping with Sirens.
Okay, but New Bring Me the Horizon is good somehow?
Yes, I agree.
What is your opinion on post-grunge?
I
hate you.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, well, I like regular grunge and I like ocean grunge. So how bad could it be?
What album is? What is it?
I'll tell you at the end.
Of course.
Y'all ever heard of Igor?
Oh, Igor fucking slaps.
Yeah.
Or I could just do something obscure. Just do like a unknown Eskimo DJs. If you know what that record is.
No, I can't say I do.
It's interesting, but no, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. So here's
Depending on what Conley does, it depends.
here's what I can do. I can either pick the Steve Rodan 1 hour of paper noises for you, or I can pick this one album by the Frogs.
I guess Wesley Willis made you do that.
Maybe. Also, there's like 2 songs on there where I just think they're hilarious, and sometimes I play them on stream as a meme.
Oh my god, fucking Flipper. That band would be interesting, but
What did they
Oh, well.
ask Alexandria anyway? Good question, Luke. I don't know.
Don't worry, Stallman. Next time you're on, I'll pick metalcore, deathcore.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be on next episode, so
No, I mean the next time. I already know what I'm picking this time.
oh,
I'm looking at the album right now. I'm just.
so it's not metalcore or death. Oh yeah, it's post grunge. Okay.
Yep.
Oh god, what band did I hate back then that was post grunge? I know there was a band that
Oh,
there's
boy.
a couple of them that I bitched about constantly.
Well, I'm picking Caesar.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I found the band.
No.
Oh well, I guess don't want to keep you guys. You guys got albums to review.
That we do.
Mhm.
Like I
Oh,
said, I
Stallman.
didn't know how long this was gonna run, but it's
Stallman, just
alright.
so you know, since you're here, I'm gonna pick a Seether album.
Oh no.
I fucking hate you.
See, I was
Yeah,
trying to figure
I know.
out what bands fall under post grunge, and then I looked up the Wikipedia, and now I understand. And
It's butt rock. It's
I'm
butt rock.
Yep, I'm moderately worried. So
It's
you
butt
probably
rock.
should be.
It's butt rock except for I guess 3 Doors Down, maybe. Like every post grunge band is bad, unless you consider Stone Temple Pilots post grunge. I don't.
I
Stallman,
oh,
1 or 2.
God.
What are 2?
I'm only picking from the albums I've heard stuff from.
It doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't matter.
Well, pick one.
Well,
Fuck it, 2.
Cool. Common Effect.
I hate you.
You're welcome. I give you permission to pick. I mean, you don't need my permission. Pick what.
Philosophy of the World by the Shags. It's critically acclaimed by Kurt Cobain and Frank Zappa.
Wait, no. The Shags is that fucking group of fucking the ones that literally didn't know how to play their fucking instruments.
yeah, and they released one album, and it's good. I don't know what you're talking about.
They released 2, by the way.
Oh,
There's one that they released after they broke up.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
After they learned how to play.
Oh, okay,
my
cool.
guy,
And which is why it got bad reviews, because people were expecting it to be terrible.
Your mic is peaking so bad.
Sorry.
It really is peaking really bad.
It
Sorry.
adds comedic effect. It's fine.
Hey, Mike, you like Infant Annihilator?
Are you asking if I like people who annihilate infants? No.
No, the band Infant Annihilator.
I can't say I've heard of them.
Cool. So
Okay, I'm okay with that.
we're gonna be listening to the palpable leprosy of pollution by Infant Annihilator.
It sounds like a death metal band.
This sounds like it shreds. I'm not worried in the slightest, but also I am, because it's gonna probably pull like a complete 180, and I'm gonna be like, bruh.
It's not the band itself that's bad. Some of these lyrics are, you know what? I'm just gonna read
The name
some
of the
of the
band is
names.
Infant Annihilator.
I'm just gonna read some of the names for these songs. They're known for a specific theme in their music, and
Just a complete hatred from babies, I imagine.
yes, it's going to make everyone violently uncomfortable. So we have such great hits as Devotion to the Child Rape Syndicate,
Oh no. Is this gonna
Newborn Porn,
Is this gonna be TOS? Because this is sounding Monk of TOS.
the Embryonic Fetish,
Oh my god.
Mm.
Torn from the Womb,
Yeah, this is
Feel like I
definitely
need
a
that one.
death metal band.
This is
Cunt Crusher.
oh my fucking god.
This is a porno grind band. That's
They
what this
present
is.
themselves as deathcore technical death metal.
Oh, great. So it sucks.
Someone's gonna hate this
Hey.
one too.
Hey, Mike.
Uh-huh.
You're welcome.
We'll see if that's yeah.
Second album literally abbreviates to the egg.
I love Egg. I mean,
Alright.
I don't
well-
because yeah, but
And then the last one's the boy.
good name. Also good name.
Yeah, I don't know if I should do the Shags since you guys are familiar with the Shags. I could do Grand Reefer. Let's see. Nah, Shag's Philosophy of the World. We'll go with that for now.
Okay.
Very
Save
cool.
save Grand Reefer for another time.
Also, I would like to preface this with I do not condone anything any of these songs are about, so let's not get that twisted, okay?
I would hope not.
Well, anyway, I guess we'll head out. Thank you
Yeah.
for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It was very cool.
Yeah, and I don't know.
If you're watching this on YouTube when it is inevitably available in 3 months, hello, people from the future. There are links down below for Facebook and Bandcamp and all that stuff if you want to check out Black Squirrel Run. Which
Yeah, I'll link the Bandcamp for the Fall Sampler too, so that way, because that's not on our Bandcamp, that's on Missed Out Records Bandcamp.
yeah, and I believe if this is updated, you can get the demo on cassette.
I don't know if we still have cassettes available. Zook? I guess not there.
He is kill.
Yeah, I guess they're not there. Hold on. See if I can message John here. All right.
I think since this ran a little long when I do upload this, it's going to be like 2 separate videos instead of all in one because
yeah. I don't know if we have our cassette demo available still. But we could probably always make more if we wanted to. We probably might not just because we had it limited release anyway, and some of those songs on there aren't part of our set anymore. Haiku and Taylor's songs still are. And we did use parts of Garden of Eden, the music wise, into Spilt Miller. So, but we probably might not re-release that just because, or do another run of that just because a lot of, like, the songs that we still are playing are going to be re-recorded and obviously in better sound quality.
yeah, understandable. In any case, it is definitely still available on Bandcamp if you want to check that out.
Yeah, definitely available online on Bandcamp. Same with the split album that we did, although I will say my vocals aren't very great on that one just because like I did the recording in the morning while hungover, so don't recommend doing that.
See me, I just smoke meth to get me through the day.
Yeah.
Well, even then, that's terrible for your vocals as well. Like, I actually have to prepare so that way I don't sound like crap.
I mean, I feel like meth gives you the extra kick you need to keep going through the day,
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, anyway, see you guys.